they'll hand you their stuff and let you go do a program for them.
Yep.
Also, if you are in a school area, you have one of the parents that their kids going there, and you go and ask the parent, how's your relationship with this particular school? And we find out that sometimes, oh, my sister is the principal. You know?
Yeah, yep.
It's like, you never know who they know there.
Not only is that completely right, but I would modify what I said originally about starting at the bottom. Really where you start is a parent who can take you by the hand and walk you into anybody on the staff. Maybe not the principal. I shy away from that guy. I would rather start, walk you into a teacher and talk to the teacher. I mean, that's the ultimate leverage, And Master Ron brings up a good point. I mean, really there's, and we try to do it in the database as much as we can. It's hard, but we really want to know everything that's happening in the kids' lives. I mean, are they in Boy Scouts? Are they in Girl Scouts? Are they in, what do they do, And that gives you a lot of that. How many students go to this elementary school? Okay, well, let's huddle them up and figure out a way to get them to walk us in, I mean, how does that work? But I do really like, by the way, I love the school supply drive every year. I loved doing it. I loved like dropping the stuff off. We had our guys, and I'll tell you why I liked it so much. Not only was it good, like altruistic, and it was good to support them, but my staff guys who didn't have big enough balls, it gave them the confidence to walk in the front door of the elementary school. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to think about their psychology too, right? So they have limiting beliefs more than you do. If you think you can't get into the schools in Texas, your staff knows that you can't get into the schools in Texas. So first you got to change that, you know what I'm saying? So, but that kind of a mechanism, that kind of a tool, the school supply drive, that gives them the ability to walk in bearing gifts with no agenda. And I can't say every time, but almost every time we've ever done that, we've always, if somebody reminds me, I'll send you all the stuff for this, but you do have to remind me on Monday because once my plate gets full, it's full. I have a whole series of letters and stuff. So when we do the school supply drive, we email and send letters and all that stuff to the principals and to the people at the elementary school telling them that we're doing it, right? Usually it's guidance and then administration, right? The individual teachers, if we do it for the individual teacher, we'll do that, but usually it's guidance and administration. So we, send them letters and stuff, letting them know, hey, by the way, we're conducting a school supply drive at our martial arts locations all over the county. We want to, we tell them the whole story, right? And we tell them the day that we're going to show up with them. And we usually bring a guy with a video camera and still camera and stuff like that, so it looks kind of like a big deal, And when we drop the stuff off, I think all but maybe a couple times in recent memory have we not gotten them to go like, hang on a minute, and they get the principal and they take pictures and then they go do us a nice letter on their letterhead, and you know what I'm saying? They really want to do that. They want to make it look good. So that's a mechanism I really like. Maybe that's something you should be thinking about now for next year. But anything that you can do to grease the skids, I mean, the Mrs. Fields cookie thing of the month, you can do that I think for about $40 a month, and you can just put them on auto ship, and they just keep dinging your credit card, and they just keep shipping the big basket of brownies. And they put your thing on it and everything, and just set it on an auto ship and let it go. Good. Anybody else on that?
Simple question about the price point for that after school program.
We typically do anywhere between $20 and $40. 20, 29, 39. I haven't seen any testable statistical difference. We have seen a statistical drop off over 40.
Has anybody had any luck with the scouts, with like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and stuff? Because we've done a bunch of troops, not a single one of them had anybody sign up from any of the groups.
I don't know, any thoughts on that, or
I don't know.
Scouts specifically?
They stay pretty busy.
They stay what?
They stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
We enroll Girl Scouts more than Boy Scouts. We have a group of Girl Scouts coming for a patch.
And they have a patch. They have a self-defense patch. Yeah.
We do
The
that.
boys no longer do.
Yeah.
The girls, and we enroll not, like you say, they are not, because they are involved already in similar kind of IcPp Day. We enroll not that many.
Okay.
We were just invited to a 4-H meeting to give a presentation there, and one of the spinoffs from the elementary thing. I have too much experience with it, but it's I
don't think I've ever done a
similar to
4-H,
Boy
yeah.
Scouts kind of deal, and
It's kind of fun
they
with
seemed
the
real
farmer
excited
thing.
about having us in.
Isn't the 4-H a farmer thing?
Yeah.
it's
Agriculture, yeah. I'm not sure they have them down here.
That's
Yeah, I
a
think
good
they
one,
do.
because those people got money.
Yeah.
They can afford a cow.
Subsidy,
and a
yeah.
bull, they can afford money. Yeah.
I know like the big like regional scout meeting, we've done a few times that's worked okay, but mostly it was just a lead generation. I mean, I don't know. I just have a weird perspective of lead generation. I want a big database, man. You know, I can't remember who told me, but I don't know. Whoever has the biggest database wins, right?
When you said
So
when you said the big stuff with the Boy Scouts, the meetings, so you're talking about like the annual jamborees?
like the big regional thing, yeah.
Convention centers and stuff, and you
Yeah.
got into one of those?
Yeah, we did in Denver once, and I did down here once, yeah. But probably more than once, but yeah.
There's a big one every year is at the George R. Brown in Houston.
There you go. I mean, are they for mostly local or not local?
No, it's like, it's.
International,
national.
yeah.
Well, I used to be a Boy Scout, I remember when I was doing it, like, you know, I'd meet people from Oregon, and, you know, I think once I even met some kid from Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
I think if I had my preference, I'd rather do, the local big thing,
Right.
but
Yeah, it's hard to sign kids up that are going to.
yeah, Georgia, yeah. Alaska, yeah.
Online education.
Yeah. Just-
Well, or, find a school out there and sell them to them, I guess, I don't know. Okay, good. Should we bang the gavel on that one, or school programs are pretty well sought after, or gone through?
Do you have some of the material, is it on the?
Yeah, I was actually
website?
trying
If you list me-
Of it?
Summer success?
to just search it.
Yeah, type in summer success. And
Are you-
I'm sure, I know it's in another place too, but the summer success thing I kind of have kind of almost systemized, right? And we did just move the website, so I did break some shit along the way. So you may find some links there. If you do find a link, seriously, send me an email, let me know, because I think there's 3,000 pieces of data in there right now, so 3,000 files and stuff. So I won't ever find them all. Did that work?
I think so. Sorry.
Yeah. That's the one?
That's the teleconference.
No, that's not it. And that looks like it's broken. Okay, somebody email me, and I'll send that out to everybody. Yes.
This one here? Or no?
No. How do you go back?
Here's two.
How come I can't? Yeah. I believe it's that one. But I'll tell you what, if somebody shoots me off an email right now, put it in my inbox right now, I'll find it all and put it in one post for you so you can see it all. Okay? It's a lot of stuff. Sales letter, FedEx package. I think I might even have the email follow-up sequence, and I might even have the links to the videos, but I'll have to check on that for you.
Earlier you mentioned something about Disney. Was it email something like that?
It should be in your box now. There's the Disney, it's on the site, you can find the site, but
What's your email address?
TobyMillwright@atma.com. Good. Okay, so let's move on then. Where were we? Either big marketing typical staples. Flip a coin.
Referrals,
Yeah.
I think we do have a program for referral every month, something different, special. We encourage referral. We had through the APA many ideas of referrals, but one thing we use a lot is that everybody that to earn their victory badge, their school badge, they must bring a friend to class to show their leadership. That encourage referral. We had a $100 gift certificate to the person that referral that person and enroll.
Which, by the way, you
Prizes, contest every month, some kind of contest on referral.
well, just in general, it doesn't necessarily have to relate to referrals, but just kind of, if you had to categorize like the one biggest marketing strategy for the last 12 months, what would you think it would be?
The school demo
Yeah.
is the number
Yeah.
one for us, and second is referral. That's the two things that we have school in different states, and they all it's a culture also. We train to do that. That's what.
Exactly.
we train.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, and especially when you're looking at multis, right? Okay, so you have 20 schools, and each owner is getting in front of 400 prospects. Well, how do you beat that? You know, you know.
Are you guys saying like elementary schools, high schools, intermediate?
Elementary school.
Elementary, so start with
Elementary school. Something that we had also is little satellite schools that you mentioned, that we had some, the Jewish Community Center,
Mhm.
we had some private schools that always provide us with, we teach there and then we enroll them in our program.
Private schools are usually easier to penetrate because they don't have the perception of as much bureaucracy as the public schools do. But you can screw up either one of them, or you can get into either one of them. You know, I mean, it's, you know. And our numbers, and again, maybe it's a cultural thing, but our numbers are we get the best results for K1, 2, 3, and then diminishing results grades above that. Did you catch that? Yeah. So we have better results for the younger kids, not as good results for the older kids, especially fourth and fifth grade for some reason.
Even with high schools though, because I mean, you know, through the UFC over the last couple of years, like, I walk around my daughter's school all the time, and there's like, you know, tap out this, and like, I figured that's huge with their demographic, like, it's super popular.
Yeah.
But the conversion's just not there.
I don't know. Again, culturally, we're going after the kids, right? So I don't know. Does anybody have any high school
We went to
winners?
high school, and it was, I mean, it was a little bit out of the way. We don't do MMA, and so I mean, that's not really our market, but high school,
Right.
the kids, we tend to like, even if we enroll high school kids, not very good.
Yeah.
You know, high school.
I don't like the
kids-
market at all, but I'm not saying it doesn't work.
It's a really hard market.
But if you're in that market,
We don't have a lot of high
Yeah.
school kids. We
The
have
parents-
adults and kids.
Right.
And then the select few problematic teenagers.
Our teens in the main program.
any other, I don't like it as a market, just as a market segment, because they're too flaky.
Parents won't spend money on teams.
Plus, it's not cool to be part of anything that you're committed to, right? I mean, it's just work. But I think somebody could figure it out, because I think you're right. They like it, and it's part of the culture now,
I
but
think you have a hard time going.
I can't figure it out.
I think you have a hard time going into high school and going, I do MMA, can I do something at your school?
I might agree. You know, I don't have data.
Nothing else, the high school wrestling coach is probably going to be pretty against.
Maybe, yeah.
He's not taking his students.
Yeah, or helping them.
Well, yeah.
Although the rules are, I could never do wrestling in high school because I did martial arts already for whatever, 10 years or whatever. And I couldn't figure out, like, you can't do joint locks and stuff, and there's all this crap I couldn't figure out how not to do. Well, no, I mean, you can't do like small joint manipulation or whatever, you know, so I just couldn't. I couldn't figure out why being on your back was a bad thing, and I couldn't do it.
What about this recent, like, surgical bully busting kind of for the teenagers? Is there a fit there maybe to give them some?
That has
sort
to
of-
be in the high schools.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are working on it. I just don't like the market personally. I mean, for what we're doing with the schools and stuff like that, I just don't like that market at all.
I find that they're into it for like a year or two, and then they either go off to college.
Well, shit, I'd be thrilled if they were into it for 2 years. I don't think they're interested, you know what I'm saying?
But we have a teen
You know?
program, and we're getting teens in, but to get them to go, like, they go in for a year or maybe 2, and then they're like, I'm done.
I don't know. I can't do the math.
I've got that too, but then I gotta come back at 25.
Right.
That,
So you
that
Yeah.
could be,
experience that.
that could be,
You know, you get a little gap, sure, they're off.
whatever they're doing.
Well, isn't that the advantage over conventional sports like football, baseball, basketball? I mean, you either go to college and go pro, or that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
Martial arts you can continue to do for forever. Theoretically.
Hopefully they haven't moved somewhere else.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody comes back home to see mom and dad eventually, right? Especially that's.
I'm just saying that I have experienced that, where we get that dropout right about the time we get a driver's license.
Yeah. And John.
Well,
Yeah. And or a girlfriend, yeah.
In
You
trouble.
know, we may hear from them when they're in college, and then some of them are back from college, and, you know, they, I can't put a number to it, but I know a handful.
Yeah. I think it's just a small numbers thing, and I just, I don't know how to build a business on it. I'm not saying I'm right. I just don't know. I can't do the math to make it work.
Has anybody
You know.
ever tried a retention program where like, okay, we know they're about to go off to college, maybe you sell them a package to where they're able to train when they come back for the holidays, like everybody comes home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, just to keep some type of relationship?
I don't know.
We've offered for them to come in.
Yeah. mean, even like free of charge, just to keep the,
I know what I can sell them. I can't tell you what I can't sell them, but I know what I can sell them.
What?
I can sell them self-defense products. The best we've ever done, the best I've ever seen is there's a guy named Michael Gravett. He runs the biggest self-defense product company online in the U.S. and he's a good friend of ours too, by the way. But we send them, especially the girls, right? But it's the college freshman survival kit. It's a wedge door alarm, a pepper spray, and a keychain thing, and a couple of other little widgets. I know I can sell them that. I don't know about selling them a package to come back for Christmas. I don't think I've never tried it. I don't know. Small numbers deal. I just don't know. I don't know. Let me know how it goes.
It's much better to go for 30-year-olds.
Yeah, they have money and they're going to be around for a while.
There's another business that is better than trying to sell them is that trying to hire them. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But we create a program that everybody, not everybody, but from around 13 years old and up, we have the CIT, then they enter when they are 13, 14, and then when they are 16, instead of losing them, we hire them.
Yeah, hire them, yeah.
And that's the way we had our instructors.
Yeah.
He came to visit from Brazil when he was 16. And then he
We
was
took
doing-
his passport.
then that was the attraction that he came there because with the teenagers they want to be somebody somewhere, they want to belong to something. Then if you create that environment, you're gonna have much more teams, and then you train them for instructors.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And by the way, consider that thinking just for a minute, right? Who was at the table with me earlier? Did you go over with me? Did you go over there with me? You didn't.
No.
Okay. So in running multis, my argument is, certainly no expert, but from an observer standpoint at least, I think there are three big systems that you have to have figured out if you're going to do multis, right? Number one is you've got to have, and the third one is the one everybody forgets about. But number one is you have to have the marketing systems cracked, right? You have to have marketing systems that can produce enough, can generate enough leads, that you can flow enough traffic in the front door, because that's what they won't do well, right? They'll be great teachers and stuff, but they just won't be great marketers, right? The second is you have to have sales system support, right? You have to help them make the sale, right? Or figure out how to make the sale easier, because they're not going to be Zig, right? They're not going to be, URI. But the third one is the one that everybody forgets about. You have to have staff development systems. You have to have, it's like a machine. And just like you have student turnover, you have staff turnover, right? And if you don't prepare for it, you will be the victim of it, right? So you see the thinking, right? He runs a bunch of schools. He knows that he has to generate staff on a predictable and reliable basis. Where do they come from? The best place is from internally, and why not get them when you're going to lose them anyway, right? I mean, it's brilliant.
When do you start at what age group? 12, 13,
The CIT is 12 times.
We have two types. One is for juniors that we call.
Yeah.
And one is for teenager and up. So
Yeah.
we do have for 9-year-old already that parents see us running school and then they want the kids to have some to guide or something that they will be able to carry on in their college life. So, but those are not yet motivated by working. But the older ones, yes, the 13-year-old and up. We just hired actually 2 people.
Yeah, from college, 4 now.
Actually, I hired a 15-year-old last week because
Okay.
they can only work a few hours a week or so. We pay them $8 per hour, and she's really good physically. She's my student. She was very little, but I asked her what she wants to do. She wants to be a doctor and all that stuff, and then she said she had an interview with Chick-fil-A the next day. And I said, why don't you ask me to interview you? Kind of thing. So I knew I was going to lose her right then.
Right, right.
She probably said, I'm not going to work and stuff. Why don't you start working with me then? It made her life a lot easier, so to speak. At that age, 15, 16.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's fantastic,
when you
yeah.
start losing kids, they want to start driving to get a job and stuff like
And
that.
these kids, when they become 18 years old, if they get a position in your company, they actually consider not to leave.
Yeah.
Now, we had that with they apply for college there because they want to continue working with you because the environment that you create for them, and they are happy. But if they weren't working with you, they will consider every kid, including my own son, and my daughter will consider leave if they weren't making such a good money and being very significant in the company. They would leave to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Far
absolutely.
away from the
And how can you blame them, frankly? You know, how can you blame somebody for trying to do something to improve their, you know, I mean, come on. But if you give them a great solution, I mean, yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. You know, if you look at the leadership stuff that we just put together, one of the things I think that Master Oliver's done really, really well is you take the average 13-year-old, let's say, who's been in the program for a couple years, right? They've gone through enough, and let me just overgeneralize it and say, forget the technical skill because they're going to be good anyway, right? And forget the sales skills. Just take that off the table for a minute for a 13-year-old. But by the time that they're, let's say they enrolled when they were 10 and now they're 13, right? By the time they're like a red belt, they kind of sound a little bit like Tony. They kind of sound a little bit like Zig. Am I right? Right? They kind of sound a little bit like Master Oliver, right? I mean, they kind of start to have those speech patterns and the phraseology and frankly, the belief systems, right? That's the hard part. You know what I'm saying? It's like Disney's deal. They pick the right people to work with, right? Well, you get a chance to like see their character anyway, right? So I think it's, you know, I think that's a big piece of it.
Leadership program?
Yeah, for leadership. The stuff that I've got there for you guys is really good. It's much less aggressive than what Master Oliver's doing with his guys. Here's the example. So what we're doing with the Mile High Karate guys is they're doing basically a chapter every 2 weeks. So like Psychology of Winning, 10 chapters, we're doing it in, you know, 5 weeks, right? Or whatever it is, half the amount. So this is 1 unit a month. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot easier to implement, right? I think if I threw the whole thing at you all at once, everybody'd be like, holy shit, how am I going to get all my people up to speed on all this stuff, right? And it also integrates all 4 levels of leadership, all kind of randomly, so that you don't have to do them linearly, right? So you don't have to have 4 different curriculums going on in the school. You can do one for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then the curriculum will move around enough that they can, does that make sense? Everybody kind of follow that?
So the quick start would basically tell them how to do these next.
The quick start walks you through it. I don't have the video up yet, but the quick start shows you the plan. And then you've got month 1, month 2, and it's just going to go every month. The new one will come up about 2 weeks ahead of time. It'll email it out to you, and within a couple of weeks, I'll have it set up so you can have it go straight to your students.
So it's not fully launched yet?
It's launched,
Oh, okay.
but every month you'll have the new unit.
Yes.
Every month you have, and all of it's done already, so we're not waiting for anything. Good. I think everybody needs like a pee break. You guys all need a break for that? Okay, let's take just 10 minutes and come back.